Allô, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome. Today we're going to be introducing some new books that we've added to the library. We've got a little bit of everything. We've got nonfiction, fiction, junior, adult, French, you name it. We've got it all this time. So let's get started. Here's my beautiful collection of brand new books that we're adding. You could see here at the library we have decorated. There's my lovely Christmas tree that we have here set up, and we have some little knickknacks a little bit everywhere. So if you guys want to get into the festive season, come on down. Also want to let you guys know that effective yesterday, December 1st, up until December 8th, we have a letter to Santa program that we've set up. I'm just going to show you guys here. In the back here, you could see this table. This is Santa has set up a post station here, like Canada Post, and the kids could come write letters to Santa, and Santa will write them back. So this is going on until December 1st at both lake locations, so in St. Pierre and in St. Malo during regular operating hours. Come on down if you guys are looking for a fun activity to do with the kids this weekend. Or even tonight, we're open until 8 p.m. at both locations. Otherwise, Saturday, 10 to 1 at both locations. And then, of course, next week. It ends on December 8th. So if you guys want to check that out, that would be wonderful. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get into these books. I'm going to give you guys a short bio of each book that I'm introducing. So this book is the collected poetry of Carol Shields. So this is nonfiction, and this is all of her poetry. I don't know if you guys knew that she was a poet, and it's ranging from works from the early 1970s up until her death in 2003. And so, yeah, if you guys are into poetry, this is her book. It's actually full. It's actually quite a big book, which is astonishing. Very creative person. There you go, Carol Shields. Okay, the next one is David Baldacci, Mercy. This book is actually on hold for a couple of people, so if you want to be added to the list, this is book 4 in the Alti Pine series, Mercy. The next one we have is by Joan Bischoff, and it's called The Gold in These Hills. And this is a 2-second chance love stories, hope across the centuries, and the legacy that binds them together. Okay, the next action, Michael Connolly. This is The Dark Hour. This is book number 4 in the Renee Ballard series. So has a killer lain dormant for years only to strike again on New Year's Eve. LAPD detective Renee Ballard and Harry Bosch team up to find justice for the innocent victims in this newest thriller. This one as well is on hold, so give us a call if you want to be added to the list. Okay, we're going to jump to a couple of cute kids' books. Isn't that pretty? This is by Mem Fox, and it's called The Tiny Star. And essentially a star falls to Earth when it becomes a baby, and where it becomes a baby, and it is embraced and cared for by the community. I just want to show you guys some of the imagery or the illustrations in this book. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful illustrations. This is illustrated by Freya Blackwood. Okay, this is actually a really funny book. I think it's funny. It's by Max Greenfeld. He's actually a comedic actor, but he wrote this book. It's called I Don't Want to Read This Book. So it's a tongue-in-cheek take on the challenges and pleasures of reading a book. It's illustrated by Mike Lowry. And I saw a little bio. Here, I'll just give you guys a little bit of an idea of what's inside of it. I seen him give an interview about this book, and essentially, he grew up not being a reader. He hated reading. And so he wanted to write a book for kids who don't enjoy reading to kind of just give them a little bit of pleasure and maybe kind of like, yeah. Anyways, really good. This is cute. Okay, the next one. This one is so funny as well. This is called D and apostrophe, and it's by Judith Henderson and illustrated by O'Hara Hale. And this is a really cute story. D has a problem with the apostrophe or with apostrophe. Namely, he keeps stealing letters and replacing them with himself. And so this is a great book to show, and it shows great examples of how to use an apostrophe and when to use an apostrophe. But it's actually done in a very comedic way. It's cute. Sneaky apostrophe. Okay, the next one is by Mo Williams. Mo Williams is the creator, he's an artist, illustrator, and author, and he has the series Rosie and Elephant. And this is his latest work. It's called Opposites Attract. And this, again, it's an inquisitive book about inquisitive opposites book featuring his abstract work. So this is a good book to show kids about some of the theories of art. So is this dark? Is this light? Is this soft? Is this hard? And so on and so forth. Okay. We brought in some French large print. So je vais parler en français au moment. On a fait rentrer des livres en gros caractères pour nos lecteurs français. Parce qu'on n'avait pas pas une grosse collection. Alors, on a ajouté des nouveaux. Je pense que j'ai ajouté 4 nouveaux titres. So, on va aller à travers les 4 titres. Celui-ci, je vais faire certain que je vous annonce le bon here. So ça, c'est par François Bourdon, La Combe aux Oliviers. Puis, à la Combe aux Oliviers, la famille Valentine vit au rythme de saison, tout comme son père Lucrèce à la passion des oliviers. Au lendemain de la Grande Guerre, elle prend la direction du domaine pour se consacrer à ses arbres, et particulièrement à Noé, le plus vieux confident des bons comme des mauvais jours. Le prochain, c'est... Celui-ci est vraiment gros, mais c'est vraiment bien fait parce que le texte est en grand caractère. Alors, ceux qui ont des faiblesses avec leur vue, c'est vraiment... Ils peuvent continuer à faire la lecture à la maison, qui est fantastique. Ça, c'est par Micheline Lachance, puis ça s'appelle Lady Carter. En 1863, Hortense Fabre, épouse de Sir George Étienne Cartier. Entre une épidémie de choléra, la visite d'un prince de Galles, la Confédération et l'épisode de Louriel et un scandale relié au chemin de fer du Canadien Pacifique, ce récit expose une vie tumultueuse et où émotion et obligation se disputent la vedette. So, Lady Cartier. Le prochain s'appelle Les sabots fendus. Et ceci, c'est écrit par Gilbert Mercier. Au pays de mai, occupé par les Allemands dans les années 1940, Petit Louis est un gamin en sabots, peu favorisé par la vie, mais a l'imagination féconde. Tout est son paradis sous le pommier de cailleux. Il ignore même qu'aux portes de son village existe un camp où vivent, dans des conditions d'insalubrité effroyables, des tziganes, nomades et vagabonds. Ça nous fait penser. Et le dernier grand texte, ceci c'est par Jeanine Trouville, Par le chemin de Marais. Puis ce livre, c'est au sujet des parents de Yves qui recueillent son cousin, André, peu après sa naissance et élèvent les deux garçons comme des frères. Alors, c'est deux cousins qui sont élevés comme frères. Malgré les efforts de leurs parents, Yves est cependant convaincu qu'il lui préfère André. Au fil des années, une profonde et douloureuse rivalité se creuse, forçant le fils légitime à quitter sa famille, tandis que la Première Guerre mondiale fait rage. Alors, des nouveaux textes des nouveaux grands textes en français. Le prochain, c'est excuse, je vais juste tourner ma page. J'ai mes notes ici en avant de moi. Ça, c'est une nouvelle série qu'on a fait rentrer pour les jeunes. Ça s'appelle Découvre en bande dessinée. Alors, il y a différents topics ou sujets que les enfants peuvent découvrir. Puis ça, c'est le premier qu'on ajoute à la bibliothèque ici, ou aussi à Saint-Malo. Saint-Malo a aussi une copie de ce livre. C'est écrit par Pierre Hortel et illustré par Claude Souza. Puis, c'est fantastique parce que ça l'explique l'espace. Mais c'est tout fait en bande dessinée. Et aussi, à côté de la bande dessinée, il y a aussi des faits au sujet du titre. C'est fun. Ça encourage les jeunes à faire de la lecture ainsi qu'apprendre au sujet des environnements alentour d'eux. Puis ça, c'est l'espace. Un beau livre. Le prochain, ça, c'est une série par Paul Romanek. Ce livre, c'est en français. Le hockey, c'est Super Vedette 2021-2022. Puis nous avons plusieurs copies de ce livre, pas copies, mais année en année, Scholastic s'y sort avec un nouveau livre. Ça, c'est le livre pour les vedettes 21-22. Oh, Mike Shifley est ici. Mark Shifley, qui a fait le livre. Jets de Winnipeg. Il y a ses statistics. Connor McDavid. Ashton Matthews. So, il y en a toutes. Oh, Nikolai Ehlers. Ça, c'est vraiment fun pour les jeunes. OK, ce livre, j'aimerais remercier un de nos... un des gens qui viennent souvent à la bibliothèque parce qu'elle nous a fait ce cadeau à la bibliothèque. C'est un livre par Emily Giffin, The Lies That Bind. Puis elle a dit c'est un vraiment bon livre. Ce titre, c'est au sujet, I'm going to switch to English now. It's a woman is falling hard for a new man she's just met when he disappears without a trace on 9/11. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not going to give you more details. You'll have to read the book. Throughout the year, we also bring in new titles in large print. So this is a newest one that we're adding to our large print Collection, and it's John Grisham's The Judge's List. This is book number 2 in the Lacey Schultz series. And so as an investigator for the Florida Board of Judicial Conduct, Lacey Schultz sees plenty of corruption among the men and women elected to the bench. In The Whistler, that was the first one in the series, she took on a criminal syndicate that was paying millions to a crooked judge. And now, in The Judge's List, the crimes are even worse. The man hiding behind the black robe is not taking bribes, but he may be taking lives. Duh, duh, duh. John Grisham. Okay, the next one. This is called The Wolf Pack. How young people will find their voice, unite the pack, and change the world. It's by Abby Wambach. And there's 8 new rules to help young women change the landscape of their lives and the world. And it's a nice little short book. How young people will find their voice, unite their pack, and change the world. Let's go, Wolf Pack. It's your time. Very nice. Okay, junior books. We're getting into the juniors here. This is Milo Moss is officially unamazing. Look at the cover. It's a little boy when he's got all this big tower of toilet paper behind him. So Milo, this is by Lauren Albright. Milo and his parents desperately want to win a Guinness World Record. But Milo ultimately discovers what winning really means. Wonder what they're doing with the toilet paper. You'll have to read it. Next one, a book by Amy Wall. It's called We Jane, and this is one of the Scotiabank Giller Prize long list. This year, we purchased 2 copies of each of the long list books, one for in the St. Pierre collection and one for in St. Malo. Scotiabank Giller Prize is one of the biggest Canadian prizes awarded to Canadian writers. So this one is a remarkable debut about intergenerational female relationships and resistance found in the unlikeliest of places. We, Jane, probes the importance of care work by women for women. Okay, this one has a very long list of holds. Indian in the cabinet. This is written, I'm going to just switch my paperwork over here because I want to read to you some of what's in this bio. This is written by Jody Wilson Raybolt. Compelling political memoir of leadership and speaking truth to power by one of the most inspiring women of her generation. Jody Wilson Raybolt was raised to be a leader. In standing her personal and professional ground and telling the truth in front of the nation, Wilson Raybolt demonstrated the need for greater independence and less partisanship in how we govern. Indian in the cabinet, speaking the truth to power, is the story of why Wilson Raybolt got into federal politics. Her experience as an Indigenous leader sitting around the cabinet table, her proudest achievement, the very public SNC-Lavalin affair, and how she got out and moved forward. Now sitting as an independent member in Parliament, Wilson Raybolt believes there is a better way to govern and a better way for politics, one that will make a better country for all. So if you guys want to be added to the list, call me. Okay, we got a couple of Stuart Woods. So these also have holds. What's fun about our small library here is oftentimes we have patrons that come in and ask for a specific book, a new book coming out. And so automatically I will add them to the list. They'll usually be the very first to get the book. And then, of course, other people are like, hey, are you getting that book? And so we add them to the list. So a lot of our books we have like pre-existing. I'm not going to show you who's on these lists, but these little stickies tell me who's on the list prior to them being added in our catalog. Okay, so this is Stuart Wood's Stone Barrington, and it's volume 58, Class Act, and 59, Foul Play. And Foul Play we also have in audiobook. So we still have audiobooks here at the library. And a lot of them are like some of the latest books. We usually get one a month. I think we've added at least 12 audiobooks to our collection. This is great if you still want to listen to the CD in your vehicle or at home. Some people don't want to use e-libraries and listen to audio through that platform. And so the alternative is getting audiobooks. And we could also get audiobooks from other libraries because other libraries also have audiobooks in their collections. Okay, so we're going to move forward to some young adults. Young adult books are amazing. They're not just for young adult, but they are great for transitioning from, starting to read independently in the junior section and then phasing out of that and being exposed to some more young adult content, but adults could read these. I read some of these books. They're really good. So this is a book by James Bird. It's called The Brave. Colin can't help himself. He has a unique condition that finds him counting every letter spoken to him. It's a quirk that makes him a prime target for bullies and a continued frustration for the adults around him, including his father. When Colin asked to leave yet another school, his dad decides to send him to live in Minnesota with his mother, who he's never met. She is Ojibwe and lives on a reservation. So, one of the wonderful things about junior and young adult books is the topics that are explored in these books. They're often very thought provoking, and they talk a lot about uh, what's going on in our world and what's important to the kids around us, and bringing light to some of the underserved population or communities. And so, what I'm seeing, there's a big trend right now, obviously, in talking about First Nations, truth and reconciliation, and that sort of thing. So we're seeing a lot of books come out that take place on reservations or within some of the programming, institutionalized programming, or federal programming that try to help or not help, but that service those populations. Another theme that I'm seeing is neurodiversity. And so we're seeing a lot of books come out and normalizing and explaining some of the challenges faced with people who have who are neurodiverse, and that could be things from um, ADHD, autism, and that whole spectrum. Um, and it's we're seeing a lot of this in the junior and the young adult, which is amazing. Some of the other things that we're seeing also is climate change. So awesome. Okay, enough of that rambling. Let's go on to the next one. This is Historically Inaccurate, and this is by Shay Bravo. I love that name. After her mother's deportation last year, all Soledad, Saul Guadamirs wanted for her life to go back to normal. Everything's changed. New apartment, new school, new family dynamics, and Saul desperately wants to fit in. When she joins her community college history club, it comes with an odd initiation process. Break into Westray's oldest house and steal a fork. There's just one problem. While the owners of the house aren't home, the grandson, Ethan, is. And when he catches Saul with her hand in the kitchen drawer, she barely escapes with the fork intact. This one chance encounter irrevocably alters her life. And Saul soon learns that sometimes fitting in isn't as important as being yourself, even if that's the hardest thing she's ever had to do. Beautiful cover. The Do-Over. The Do-Over is written by Jenny Honeyborn. And this book, excuse me just a moment, guys. Hello. Okay, so we're going to move on to The Do-Over. The Do-Over is written by Jennifer Honeyborn, and it's in regards to Emily. Emily has always wanted to fit in with the A crowd. So when Ben, the hottest guy in school, asks her out, she chooses him over Alistair, her best friend. And even after Alistair confesses his feelings to her, 6 months later, Amelia wonders how her life would have been different if she'd chosen Alistair instead. Do-Over. The Legend. This is written by Jean Mills. Griffin Tardif, 16, sidelined from hockey because of a serious injury. Starts grade 11 in a new school an hour away from his hometown of Ottawa. He chooses as his community service a spot at the local radio station. Then he gets involved in the lives of a family in his new neighborhood, which opens his eyes to other intriguing possibilities. The Legend. Okay, before last. Okay, so this one is called The Surface Breaks, another young adult. This is by Louise O'Neill. I can't help it. It's probably Louise, but Louise en français. This is mermaidish. In the deep, cold waters of the Irish coast, the 15-year-old mermaid who calls herself Gaia dreams of breaking the surface of the sea and seeing the human world, just like her mother. That's all I'm going to say. The Bro Code. This is by Elizabeth A. Siebert, The Bro Code. So the Bro Code, rules of conduct have passed through the ages from bro to bro. But when Nick McGuire's best bro Carter, he has a little sister, Eliza, or a sister, Eliza, who returns from studying overseas. The awkward academic girl Nick remembers is different. Carter might be Nick's bro, but Eliza becomes his whole world. And he has to make a choice between them. Is being with the girl of your dreams worth breaking the most important rule, never date your best friend's sister? Somehow, Nick never expected that following the bro code may have even bigger consequences than breaking it. The bro code. All right, so that's it. Those are all the brand new books that we're going to be adding to the shelves today. If you guys want to place a hold, just let me know, and we most certainly can do that. So we'll talk to everybody soon. Bye.